The year was 1914. Europe stood on the brink of a catastrophe that would forever alter the course of human history. The First World War, a conflict of unprecedented scale and brutality, was about to erupt. The world watched in disbelief as empires clashed, millions perished, and the map of Europe was redrawn in blood. From the trenches of the Western Front to the battlefields of the Eastern Front, the war raged for over 4 long years. It was a war that pitted nation against nation, brother against brother, and left an indelible mark on the 20th century. The First World War was a global conflict, drawing in nations from every corner of the globe. The causes of this devastating war were complex and multifaceted. Years of simmering tensions, fueled by nationalism, imperialism, and a tangled web of alliances, had created a powder keg in Europe. The assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand of Austria-Hungary in Sarajevo on June 28, 1914, provided the spark that ignited this powder keg, plunging the world into darkness. Europe in the early 20th century was a continent riven by distrust and suspicion. The great powers, Great Britain, France, Russia, Germany, and Austria-Hungary, eyed each other with suspicion, their relationships strained by competition for colonies, economic rivalry, and territorial disputes. This atmosphere of distrust led to the formation of a complex network of alliances. Germany, fearing encirclement by its rivals, formed the Central Powers with Austria-Hungary and Italy. On the other side, France, fearing German aggression, formed an alliance with Russia. Great Britain, initially hesitant to commit, joined the alliance after Germany's invasion of neutral Belgium. These alliances, intended to deter aggression, instead had the opposite effect. When Austria-Hungary declared war on Serbia following the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand, the alliance system kicked into gear, drawing the great powers into a conflict that none of them had anticipated or desired. The assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand, heir to the Austro-Hungarian throne, and his wife Sophie in Sarajevo on June 28, 1914, was a pivotal event in world history. The assassination, carried out by Gavrilo Princip, a Serbian nationalist, was the culmination of years of tension between Austria-Hungary and Serbia. Austria-Hungary, determined to crush Serbian nationalism, saw the assassination as an opportunity to assert its dominance in the Balkans. Serbia, backed by Russia, resisted Austria-Hungary's demands. When diplomacy failed, Austria-Hungary declared war on Serbia on July 28, 1914, setting in motion the chain of events that led to the outbreak of World War I. The assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand was a tragedy that had far-reaching consequences. It was a stark reminder of the dangers of nationalism, the fragility of peace, and the devastating consequences of unchecked aggression. World War I witnessed an unprecedented level of technological innovation in warfare. The conflict became a testing ground for new weapons and technologies, many of which would have a profound impact on the nature of warfare for decades to come. One of the most significant technological advancements of the war was the development of the machine gun. Machine guns, capable of firing hundreds of rounds per minute, dramatically increased the firepower of armies. They also made offensive warfare extremely costly, as attacking troops were mowed down in their thousands by enemy machine gun fire. Another deadly innovation was poison gas. First used by the Germans in 1915, poison gas, such as chlorine and mustard gas, was a terrifying new weapon that caused excruciating pain and death. The use of poison gas in World War I was a horrifying reminder of the inhumanity of war and the lengths to which nations would go to achieve victory. Section 5. Unsung. Heroes, women and animals on the front lines. While men fought in the trenches, women played a vital role on the home front, keeping their countries running and supporting the war effort. Women took on jobs traditionally held by men, working in factories, farms and hospitals. They drove buses, operated machinery and produced munitions, demonstrating their resilience and adaptability in the face of adversity. Animals also played a crucial role in World War I. Horses, mules and donkeys were used extensively for transportation, carrying supplies, ammunition, and even wounded soldiers. Dogs were trained to serve as messengers, scouts, and guard dogs, proving to be invaluable assets in the trenches. The contributions of women and animals during World War I often went unrecognized, but they were essential to the war effort. Their service and sacrifice helped to shape the outcome of the conflict and paved the way for greater recognition of their roles in society. The Gallipoli campaign, it was a significant military failure for the Allies. Launched in 1915, the goal was to open a new front and secure a sea route to Russia. However, the campaign was marred by poor planning and fierce Ottoman resistance, leading to heavy casualties and eventual withdrawal. Meanwhile, on the Western Front, the Schlieffen plan aimed to quickly defeat France by sweeping through Belgium. This plan, however, underestimated the speed of mobilization and the resilience of the Allied forces, resulting in a prolonged and grueling trench warfare. During the war, propaganda became a powerful tool, used by all sides to bolster morale, recruit soldiers, and portray the enemy in a negative light. Posters, films, and speeches were all part of the effort to maintain public support for the war. As the war dragged on, shortages of food and materials became commonplace. Rationing was introduced, and civilians had to make do with less. This period also saw significant changes in societal roles, especially for women, who took on jobs traditionally held by men, from factory work to nursing on the front lines. The Treaty of Versailles, signed in 1919, officially ended the First World War. It imposed harsh penalties on Germany, including substantial territorial losses, military restrictions, and hefty reparations. Many historians believe these punitive measures sowed the seeds for future conflict. The aftermath of the treaty left Europe in a state of economic and political turmoil. The League of Nations was established in an attempt to maintain peace, but without the participation of key powers like the United States, its effectiveness was limited. Reflecting on the First World War, we see many lessons that resonate even today. The importance of diplomacy, the dangers of nationalism, and the need for international cooperation are just a few. The war changed the world in profound ways, reminding us of the cost of conflict and the value of peace. As we move forward into a new century, these lessons remain relevant. Understanding the past helps us navigate the future, ensuring that the sacrifices made are not forgotten, and that we strive for a world where such a devastating conflict never occurs again.